Paranormal investigations are one of the few things where the best case scenario can also double as the worst case scenario. The whole point is to see or experience something supernatural. But if you do, it may have been something you weren't ready for. These are 5 paranormal investigation videos that didn't go well. Or did they? Number 5. The Shadow Watcher. YouTube ghost hunter Franco TV decides to investigate Jacksonville Cemetery. This cemetery is extremely old and is said to be haunted. As he starts to explore various locations of the graveyard, he comes across this.
This one I'm turning on my light for. Make it just a little bit brighter. Oh, look at that. That one's actually kicked in.
This crypt drawer, I guess you could say, that holds bodies is kicked in for some odd reason. He then starts to hear some strange noises inside of here.
Just to know that there is dead people all around you.
These drawers are full of resting souls, I guess you could say. So there shouldn't be any noises coming out of them. Franco TV starts to get a little uneasy, and his body language reflects that. The sun goes down and it's starting to get pitch black outside, and things only get stranger.
I'm still in this graveyard. What the fuck? Oh, give me a freaking break. You gotta be shitting me. That is freaking spooky. I'm trying to find it, but I don't want to get too close. Look at the size of this thing.
Somehow a sound of something like a music box can be heard playing. Franco continues to hear strange noises around the graveyard, but then he witnesses something that shakes him to his core.
There they are right there. What is it? What the fuck is that? It's like a black thing. What? Oh my god. It's fucking moving.
He sees a dark, shadowy figure peeking around the corner from inside of the crypt. Then it hides back around the corner. As if that isn't bad enough, as he gets closer to examine it, his flashlight starts to lose power. He seems to be genuinely scared. You can hear it in his shortness of breath, and you can also see his hand shaking from the flashlight movements. He musters up enough courage to go inside of the crypt, and he finds nothing at all. Realizing he's locked inside of the graveyard, he calls security and they come to let him out. So what do you think? Did Franco TV witness a real paranormal entity? Or is this all just a show for the camera? You be the judge. Number 4. The House in the Forest. Paranormal investigation team Punk Rock TV set out to explore an isolated house that sits in the middle of the woods. The house has graffiti everywhere and seems to have been abandoned for quite a long time now. It was said that a young girl was kidnapped and held here, eventually losing her life, and the local government officials took over the house and left it to decay in the woods. Though the history of the house hasn't been confirmed, many say that this location is extremely haunted by many different entities. From the looks of it, there's no telling what history lies inside of these walls. At first, nothing significant happens during the investigation, but then they decide to go upstairs to investigate further, and they witness something extremely unnerving.
Así que busqué. Vete, vete. Güey, no mames. Güey, vergas, escucha niños allá afuera.
Ya vámonos.
Aguanta. No mames. No quiero ni subir. Porfa. ¿Quién verga va a saber quién es puto bosque en la casa abandonando niños? Buenas noches. Habitación, güey. Cuarto. ¿Qué más? Buenas noches. No mames. No mames. Chica, tu madre, chica, tu madre. Uy, vamos.
Did you catch it? As they reach the top of the stairs and call out to the children they heard, what seems to be two extremely pale children peek out of the doorway of the room in front of them. The investigation team takes no chances and gets out of there as quickly as they can. Once downstairs, one of the team members then mentions how their channel is meant to debunk things like this. So, determined to investigate what they saw, they head back upstairs, and things only get stranger. All of the rooms are totally empty, with no sign of the children they just saw moments earlier. The Punk Rock TV team has seen and experienced enough of this abandoned house in the woods. You can see this full investigation along with many others on their YouTube channel, Punk Rock TV. Number 3. The Rapids Theater Haunting. The Rapids Theater is one of the oldest historical landmarks in the city of Niagara Falls, New York. Built in 1921, it's been in operation for close to a century. The theater is said to be haunted by multiple spirits. It's been featured on Ghost Hunters, and even their own official website has a section devoted to ghost tours of the theater. Many witnesses have claimed to see doors opening and closing on their own. There's said to be a young actress who took her life in the back of the theater many years ago. Both performers and local visitors have witnessed the clicking of high heels, whistling, and even full-blown apparitions on stage. When they've tried to get a closer look, these apparitions disappear through the walls. One of the most infamous ghosts is known as the Singing Woman, but no one knows who this woman could have been. Tommy Hamilton from the YouTube channel Hamilton's Haunted Explorations conducts an overnight investigation at the Rapids Theater along with his cousin Dez. Now, it should be mentioned that they were left completely alone for this investigation. As they start their exploration through the main room of the theater, Tommy begins to invite any entities present to make themselves known, and that's exactly what they do.
Is there any spirits here that might want to communicate with us? Or get your name out?
Neither of them seem to notice the response, but what's soon to follow will be hard for them to miss. As they investigate the old basement of the theater, they start to hear some odd noises.
Or the VIP as a MVP. We got Freddie P in August of 2017. We got Jimmy. No. Nah. Am I reading that wrong? I'm reading that wrong. Okay. I thought that's Jimi Hendrix for a second.
What was there? Tommy, do you hear this stuff around here?
I heard something from up here, but it sounded like a baby cry, and it was weird.
No, I heard like a door creak.
Your creak might have. That's what.
The door to the basement is opening and closing, but it's later confirmed by the management that this is just an airflow causing the door to do that. But when they go to investigate the door, something a little harder to explain happens. They hear a clearly audible voice of a woman singing outside of the basement door. They try to locate the source of the noise, but the theater is still empty, and no one has been able to explain what or who the source of the singing was. Was this the infamous ghost of the singing woman? You be the judge. There's now 3 parts to this investigation, and you can see it in its entirety over on the Hamilton's Haunted Explorations YouTube channel. Number 2. The Jinn. Jinn are said to be supernatural spirits that lay below the level of angels and devils. They're able to assume the form of humans and animals. They can even take the shape of small inanimate objects like rocks, or large structures like buildings or ancient ruins. They possess some of the same needs as humans, such as eating and drinking, but they aren't bound to the same physical restraints as humans. It's been said that they take delight in punishing humans who have wronged them, whether it be on purpose or unknowingly. They'll exact revenge through accidents, disease, and misfortune. YouTube ghost hunter Mr. Hamar investigates a group of abandoned homes where he and many others believe that he came in contact with one of these supernatural beings. As the investigation begins, he starts to explore one of the homes where he gets early signs that something may be a little off.
يا حد بسم الله بسم الله شوف ترى تشوفوا ذا الموقع ترى فيه بعده بسم الله بسم الله
He hears what sounds like someone groaning in agony. While this is very creepy and a red flag regardless of what it is possible that someone could have been living in these homes, but what's happening that's causing them to make these noises? As he moves his investigation outside, it only gets worse. He comes across something very unsettling.
بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله.
He sees a shadowy figure peeking around the corner at him. As he gets closer, it pulls back. When he goes to investigate, he doesn't find anything there. What's even stranger is that even though he's shining the flashlight on it, it remains completely black. You aren't able to make out any facial features, clothing, nothing. As he continues to explore the area where he saw the figure, this happens.
ايش ذا صندوق ولا ايش؟ بسم الله صوت فوق السقف.
Whatever this is knows he's there and wants him to know that they are too. Maybe they're trying to send him a message. What the message is remains unknown. Mr. Hamar brings the investigation to a close. Many in the comments believe that he witnessed the presence of a jinn. Some say it was just curious, but others feel it wanted to do him harm. So did Mr. Hamar come in contact with a jinn? And if so, did it have evil intentions? You decide. You can check out the full investigation on Mr. Hamar's YouTube channel. The title is in Arabic, so I'll leave a direct link in the description. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and please make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on our weekly videos. You can also follow us on our other social media platforms here. That's our Facebook and our IGTV. And if you have any scary or creepy video clips that you'd like to send to us, you can email it to us at thefearnetwork.com with .com spelled out. And if we use a clip, we'll be sure to give you credit. Now, let's get back into it. Number 1, the Phantom Pacer. All the videos we've looked at today are from paranormal investigation teams. Betson Angel 69 is a 44-year-old mother of 3 who created her TikTok with no intention to investigate anything paranormal. She only made the account to keep in touch with her older children. But one day, while looking out of her window, she notices a strange figure pacing back and forth in the woods across the street from where she lives. It seemed so odd that she recorded the figure and shared it with one of her friends. The next day, the figure is back again, and the next day. She at first thought it might be a person with a mental illness, but then she posts a video to TikTok when she sees that the figure has been pacing back and forth for a month and a half without stopping. The videos start to gain a lot of attention on TikTok, along with many questions. She shares some information that causes even more questions.
This is the area where we see that figure. It just walks back and forth every day, all day. Now, I've been over there a couple of times. As I walk up on it, there's just nothing there.
Whatever this presence is, also seems to be noticed by her dog.
What's wrong, Karma? What do you see over there, bud? What do you see?
Understandably shaken at this point, she asked her husband to walk over to the woods with her to investigate it. Now, it should be said, her husband didn't believe anything strange was going on, but went along with her request, and it didn't go well.
No, I don't either. It's pretty full. Hello? Is anybody there? I'm so nervous. What was that?
No.
Do you need help?
The camera cut off, but she says that she heard a gut-wrenching scream, and ever since that day, they keep hearing the same scream. Then one night, this happens.
Okay, I'm gonna do my best to do this last part in 2 videos or less. Alright, this is a view from our security camera. You can see the church over there. There's nobody there. Nobody has gone in or out. There's not even a car driving by. There's nobody in our yard. At about 2 a.m. we hear what sounds like a male just screaming, and I can show you the moment it happens because you'll see that. What is that? It's like, and I know it's this moment that it happens because in about a second my husband grabs his gun and he runs outside. You'll see him. There's the spotlight. There's my husband. I apologize. He's in his underwear. He goes around the corner, see if anyone's over there. There's nobody in our yard. Nobody. The cameras were triggered, and they're triggered by movement, yet nobody's there. At this moment, he said it sounded like someone was running up the driveway, so he ran back over to check. Nothing. So my question is, it's not raining, it's not, what's that? Right there. And it just so happened to be at the moment we hear that scream. Yeah.
At this point, she's visibly upset. She says that she and her entire family have been losing sleep over this. Desperate to find out the source of the problem, she created a YouTube channel and plans to post updates. You can follow her continued investigation over on her YouTube channel, Sinister. The link will be in the description. Wingsuit flying is an amazing thing to witness, and probably even more amazing to experience. But if things go wrong, it comes with the ultimate downside, and there's little to no room for error. Most of the videos that we'll look at today are all from experienced flyers, yet they still made the list. Is wingsuit flying too risky to master? As always, you be the judge.